Okay.
Hello, friends. It's the day after my birthday, and I'm so happy that I have these wonderful guests with me, Brother Floyd Norman and my sister Adrienne. Thank you so much for coming by on the Zoom. How are you, Floyd? Adrienne, how are y'all?
We are good. We are
Can you
doing.
see me?
I can see you, Adrienne, with your bad self, girl.
Yeah, there she is.
Oh, I just love you all so much. It's so good to see you. Can you see me okay?
Yes,
we
I
can
can.
see you.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to wish both of you a happy birthday, first off, because we're all sharing birthdays.
It's true.
Yes, we are.
Floyd, I got to ask you, my friend, at 87, you look so vital. What would you attribute your spirit to?
Yeah. I attribute everything to Adrienne.
I know she's been, in all honesty, I know she's been a big supporter and a helper and a lover. But Floyd, something that I say to my fans, because I talk about you all, that I say that I notice that it looks like you draw every day. Is that true, Floyd?
That's pretty much it. You're right. You're right about that. I've been doing that since I was a kid.
Now, I think I perceive that as part of the secret of your longevity, that you do what you love.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot to that because doing what you love is vital to a healthy and satisfying life. I mean, if you are an artist or a musician, writer, poet, choreographer, whatever, if you do what you love, then your life's going to be good.
It's fantastic. So it's great to see both of you, Adrienne. It's still so good to see you, girl. But I on behalf of people watching this, there's a couple things that folks wanted me to kind of ask you about. So, Floyd, in your first off, the documentary Animated Life is fantastic, and I do recommend it to everyone. It tells the story pretty well. Do you feel like that covered your story pretty well?
I was delighted with the filmmakers because basically I didn't really have any real input. I said, you guys, you know me, just do your job and tell my story. And I thought they did an excellent job of putting my life out there and all of its all of its warts and all. But
you don't really have a lot of.
I got a few.
You have a good heart and a good soul, and that's what comes through.
Yeah.
And it's still very evident in your face and your countenance. And also, I got to give some credit to Adrienne. You're a pretty decent person too, also, Adrienne.
Well, I certainly try to be.
Floyd, you were involved in some classic animation. Am I correct that you worked on Jungle Book?
Oh yeah,
And
that was one of many.
Snow White.
No, he's not that old.
I'm not that.
Okay.
Although oddly enough, I did work on Snow White, although not in the 1930s when the film was made. But I worked on Snow White in the 1950s, and I really did. The old man, Walt Disney, made us go to the archives and pull work from Snow White that had never been finished back in the 1930s. So a bunch of us kids, because we were all young kids, trainees actually at that time, we had to go in and do some changes on the original drawings from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So in a way, I actually did work on Snow White.
Yeah. And so I think I've asked you this before when I was out there, but back in the day, you drew on transparent cells, correct?
No, not really. We drew on paper.
Oh, wow.
But those paper drawings were traced on acetate cells.
What?
Well, those were the ink and paint women who did that.
Have you done some of that work, Adrienne, in your time there at Disney?
It's interesting because what I do for Disney when I'm painting books is a lot like ink and paint, because we're doing the characters, we ink the characters and then we paint them, but we paint them digitally. So instead of it being a cell, we're painting them in layers in Photoshop in the computer, but it's almost the same thing.
On different levels. Yeah.
And I work on Snow White, even though I certainly wasn't alive back then either, but I painted so many Snow White books, it's not even funny.
Yeah, I imagine so. So in a way, it seems like maybe you're experiencing a renaissance of activity, Floyd, in these last 10 years or so? It seems like you've been very busy.
Yeah, well, I retired around the year 2001. And I remember sitting in my backyard feeling just incredibly bored with nothing to do.
Yeah.
And I realized if I was going to stay alive, I would have to go back to work. I would have to find a way to keep busy. Part of that was basically sneaking back into the Walt Disney Studio. And I mean that literally.
In the corner.
I literally came back to the studio. I found an empty office and I moved in. And I swear it was almost a year before anybody knew I was there.
That is wild. That is wild.
Well, certain people knew I was there.
Yeah, we knew he was there.
I think that's pretty awesome, though. You know what I'm saying? I can so appreciate it. Now, am I hearing your construction in the background? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, you are.
I just wanted to make sure that's what it's
in progress.
Okay, so people listening, you hear that sound. They're having construction people. Okay.
Downstairs. That's right.
Okay. I hope
they're not drilling. Yesterday they were drilling, so I'm actually glad we changed the date.
It was really loud
yesterday.
It was loud yesterday.
Okay, well it was all meant to be then. It was meant to be.
Yeah, right.
Fantastic. Congratulations on that recent reproduction of the picture. Was it by Paramount of the animators?
Oh, the photograph.
Great day
photograph.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well, we have to give credit to Marlon West, who kind of like was the germ of the idea.
Peter Ramsey.
And I can't think of the names, but it's a feminist picture that was done of jazz musicians in the 1950s. It's a fantastic picture.
Yeah.
And I think Marlon thought, how wonderful would it be to do this to gather all different generations of Black people in animation and take this picture. And Floyd was the genesis of it, seeing how he was one of the very, very first.
It's awesome.
Fun.
It's awesome.
Marlon wanted to celebrate the fact that we have so many Black young men and women working in the industry today.
Yes.
Keep in mind, when I came to Disney back in the 1950s, I was the Black artist. And I mean that.
No, they called you the lone Negro.
Man.
They didn't call me that.
Somebody said he was the lone
one writer
Negro.
called me that. Called me the lone Negro.
And so Floyd drew a cartoon of him on a horse, like, the lone.
Here he comes. Here he comes.
Riding across the plains, the lone Negro rides again.
So, Floyd, if you don't mind reflecting back on that, can you remember the psychological challenge for you as a young person, being the only person of color in that milieu? How did you make your way? How did you make your way?
Well, here's the thing that always surprises people, and both Black and white, because I was born in Santa Barbara, raised in the perfect atmosphere for a young artist. I grew up in a creative community. And we had almost this idyllic lifestyle. And I mean this seriously. Growing up in Santa Barbara was the perfect place to grow up for a kid, and especially for a kid with creative ambitions. That meant I had almost zero racial baggage when I came to Hollywood and the Walt Disney Studio. So when people ask me, what was it like being Black at the studio at that time? It was no different than anybody else's experience. It was absolutely no different.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing. Yeah, that's fantastic. Awesome. So besides the drawing that you do, are you working on any projects or anything that is worth mentioning?
Well, funny you should mention that. We have a new feature film that will be coming out in the fall.
Wow.
We've been promoting it a little bit. There'll be more promotion as time goes on. We kind of sneaked our film at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas a few months ago. It is a documentary, a feature-length documentary on the history of, guess who? Mickey Mouse.
Awesome.
So that's my latest project. And as we begin to roll this film out in the next few weeks, you'll probably hear more about it. But it'll be on Disney Plus in the fall, and that's the latest project that I worked on. But
That's
I'm always doing something.
yes, yes, which is really is so smart of you. And I must tell you that even though I've been doing my thing my way for a long time, Floyd, you do honestly inspire me, and you do too, Adrienne. The way that you folks do what you do, and there's a trajectory. You know, it's like it's always moving. I won't say it's always moving forward necessarily, but you just keep doing what you do, and that to me is very inspiring.
Well, you know, it's funny, Dereck, you and I are a lot alike in the sense that even when we were little, we always knew what we wanted to do.
Yes.
I think you knew you wanted to be a musician.
Yes.
I knew I wanted to be an artist. Floyd knew he wanted to be an artist. I think we're just manifesting what we felt. I mean, I can't imagine doing anything other than what I'm doing. I even have my pen is in my hand.
Yes. You're ready to go.
I was doing some files for from one of the designers, and I had to get the files in, so I didn't put my pen down. But I've been painting and drawing, and since I can remember, and so is Floyd. And you've been making music, whether it's in your head or outside.
Yes, right,
you've been making it since you were a kid. So
yes,
you know, and everyone isn't that blessed to know what they want to be. I understand that, but for those people that are, it's just the best. I just can't. I can't imagine anything other than what I do. Same with Floyd, I think.
Well, I'm so glad that both of you, you know, wanted to come on and talk for a little bit, because besides getting to spend this time with you as my family members, you know, looking at both of you, Floyd and Adrienne, it's really good to see you.
Yeah.
It's important, I think, that you get to share your perspective, because I think it is positive information that people can grow on.
Yeah.
Especially at our ages. And I must say again, Floyd, you look amazing at 87. How do you actually feel? How do you feel?
Plastic surgery.
No, seriously, I can see that. But seriously, on the real side, Floyd, how are you feeling these days physically?
Actually, for an 87-year-old codger, I feel pretty darn good.
Well, you were hurting the other day, though.
Well, yeah. Well, you know,
I'm gonna tell the truth.
Yeah,
I love it. That's why I just said. That's why I said to you, Adrienne.
The matter is that Floyd is 87 years old.
Yeah.
And he is what he is.
Yeah.
But I do think that he has amazing genes that whatever is in his family is sustaining him, you know, but he does have days.
No doubt, I can imagine, because I just
keep in mind, I was pushing myself physically.
You shouldn't have been doing that, dude.
This was not the normal routine. So the fact that we're having work done on the house and we're moving furniture, moving books, it involves a lot of lifting.
I told him not to do it.
And we're going up and down the stairs. That's a deal of physical activity.
Yeah.
This old codger is not used to.
Yeah, take it easy, Floyd. Take it easy. You know, I just turned 67 yesterday, 20 years younger than you. So wow. I'm feeling the age, but at the same time, I'm feeling good. So
67 sounds really young to me.
Actually, it's funny because I always tell people in our family that we are like these the same age. I know, and me and Patrick are the same age for like 2 or 3 weeks. Right. And then you and I were the same age for about a week. And now you're 67, I'm 66. So it's kind of an interesting way to grow up, you know, not having your birthday to yourself, kind of. I don't know.
Definitely. And speaking of that, I know that you just got a call from our cousin Leroy, who just spent time with me. Now he's 84. And, you know, I love Leroy, but my God, Leroy looks 84, you know what I mean?
We can't even send it to him because he doesn't do social media, so he won't know you said this. Okay, we'll let it go. Well,
I'm gonna talk to him because we talk more now. You know, he's
I tell the same thing. I told him you have to get on social media, guy. At least get an email so we can send you stuff. You know,
that would be nice. I'm gonna work on him doing that. I'm not gonna keep you too much longer, Floyd. I want to thank you personally for just being the type of person that you are. I just think it's important that people of all ages see and hear from people with decent characters. So thank you for sharing this time with us.
Well, I'm lucky to be me. So I'm always, one of the things I really enjoy, and I never thought I would, but it's speaking to young people and
Yes.
sharing my life and my career with them,
Mhm.
because I wanted to pass on to young people who might be cynical about life,
Yes.
that, you know, living life is a wonderful thing if you have meaning and purpose in your life.
Mhm.
And of course, part of what we do, it gives us such purpose, music and art and creativity. Those things are so crucial to living a good life.
Yes, they are.
And if you're not doing those things, you know, life gets to be mundane and boring.
Absolutely.
I tell people, find excitement in your life. Find something that excites you, because if nothing excites you, it's going to be a dull, boring life. And by the time you're 65, you're going to be ready to go, because you're going to be just bored out of your skull.
That's for sure.
That's the truth. It's the truth. There are many old friends of mine in my age group who they're just like they've disappeared. You know, they're in front of the TV and it's like they don't even exist anymore.
Well,
Exactly.
I'm going to show you one thing.
Yeah.
This kind of explains it. This is one of these things that Floyd has on his desk. Can you see it?
Yeah. Stay hungry, stay foolish. I love it.
So there you go.
Right on. Right
That's
on.
how you do it.
Perfect way to wrap the conversation. Thank you all so much for joining me this morning. I'm going to go ahead and upload this to my channel when I turn the record off, and it'll be on my channel in a few minutes.
Wow.
Okay, sounds good.
I love you both so much. I love you, Floyd. I love you, Adrienne.
Love you too. Okay.
It's been a real pleasure.
You got to come out to California, dude. Okay.
I do, but I'm telling you, part of what's going on is I'm trusting my instinct about
Yes,
the airlines as well as COVID. And
Yeah.
I understand.
it's a mess right now. It's a
Yeah.
mess.
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you do what you have to do, but we love
Yeah.
to see you whenever you can.
Well, I want to come out there too, seriously. And I'm hoping I can do it this year. So we'll see.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Thanks,
right.
Glad.
Okay.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye, y'all.
Okay.
Take care now.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.